Alfred Hitchcock and the Three Investigators in The Secret of Skeleton Island by Robert Arthur. A word from Alfred Hitchcock. Warning. Proceed with caution. The above warning is meant for you if you are of a nervous nature, inclined to bite your fingernails when meeting adventure, danger, and suspense. However, if you relish such ingredients in a story, with a dash of mystery and detection thrown in for good measure, then keep right on going. For this is the 6th adventure that I have introduced for the Three Investigators, and I can only say that never have they been in any tighter spots than they encounter here. You don't have to take my word for it. Read the book and see. Just in case you haven't met the Three Investigators before, they are Jupiter Jones, Pete Crenshaw, and Bob Andrews, all of whom live in the town of Rocky Beach on the Pacific Ocean a few miles from Hollywood, California. Some time ago they formed the firm of the Three Investigators to solve any riddles, enigmas, or mysteries that might come their way, and so far they have done well. Jupiter Jones, the first investigator, is the brains of the firm. Pete Crenshaw, the second investigator, is tall and muscular and excels at athletics. Bob Andrews, the most studious of the three, is in charge of records and research. Now, on with the show. Turn the page and travel with the Three Investigators to Skeleton Island. Alfred Hitchcock. Chapter 1. A Case for the Three Investigators. "How are you lads at scuba diving?" Alfred Hitchcock asked. Across the big desk from him, in his office at World Studios, the Three Investigators, Jupiter Jones, Pete Crenshaw, and Bob Andrews, looked interested. It was Pete who answered. "We've just been checked out on our final test, sir," he said. "Our instructor took us down to the bay day before yesterday and okayed us. We're not exactly experienced, but we know what to do and all the rules," Jupiter added. "And we have our own face masks and flippers. When we do any diving, we rent the tanks and breathing apparatus." "Excellent," Mr. Hitchcock said. "Then I think you are definitely the three lads for the job." Job? Did he mean a job investigating some mystery? Mr. Hitchcock nodded when Bob asked him the question. "Yes, indeed," he said. "And doing some acting, too." "Acting?" Pete looked doubtful. "We're not actors, sir." Although Jupiter did some acting on TV when he was a very small kid. "Experienced actors aren't needed," Mr. Hitchcock assured them. "Natural boys are what they want. I'm sure you know, Pete, that your father is at the moment in the East working with director Roger Denton on a suspense picture called Chase Me Faster." "Yes, sir." Pete's father was a highly experienced movie technician, and his job took him all over the world. "He's in Philadelphia right now." "Wrong." Mr. Hitchcock seemed pleased at Pete's astonishment. "Right now he's on an island in Atlantic Bay, down on the southeast coast of the United States, helping rebuild an old amusement park for the final scene of the picture. The name of the island is Skeleton Island." "Skeleton Island? Wow!" This came from Bob. "It sounds like a pirate hangout." "It was indeed once a pirate hangout," the director told them. "Skeleton Island, a strange and sinister name. A ghost is said to haunt it. Bones are still uncovered in its sands. Sometimes, when the sea is stormy, a gold doubloon washes up on its beaches. However, before you get your hopes up, let me say there is no treasure on the island. That has been proved. There may still be small bits of treasure scattered on the bottom of the bay, but none on Skeleton Island." "And you want us to go there?" Jupiter Jones asked eagerly. "You say there's a mystery to be solved?" "It's like this." Mr. Hitchcock put the tips of his fingers together. "Your father, Pete, and a couple of other men are camped there, using local workmen to fix up part of the park for the final scenes of the movie, most of which is being shot in Philadelphia. They're having trouble. Pieces of equipment have been stolen, and their boats have been tinkered with at night. They have hired a local man as a guard, but the nuisance hasn't stopped, just slowed down. Skeleton Island is picturesque and the waters of Atlantic Bay around it are shallow. Roger Denton thought that as long as he is working on the island, his assistant, Harry Norris, could direct a short subject about 3 boys on holiday who dive for pirate treasure for fun. "Yes, sir, an excellent idea," Jupiter said. "It would have cost very little more, and the company has a man, Jeff Morton, who is an expert diver and underwater photographer. That's where you come in. You boys could be the 3 actors, do enough scuba diving to qualify, and on your time off wander round the town, hunting for clues to this mysterious thievery. We will keep your identity as investigators secret, so no one will suspect you." "That sounds great," Bob said with enthusiasm. "If our families will let us go." "I'm sure they will, with Mr. Crenshaw there too," Mr. Hitchcock said. "Of course, the mystery may not amount to anything, but in view of your past record, you may discover more than any of us suspect." "When do we start?" Pete asked. "As soon as I can make the arrangements with Mr. Denton and your father, Pete," Alfred Hitchcock said. "Go home and pack and be ready to fly east tomorrow. Here, Bob, since you're in charge of records and research, you may want to look at these articles about Skeleton Island, how it was discovered, the pirates who once made their headquarters there, and other interesting data. Familiarise yourself with it. The trip should be an interesting experience for you."